Hello and warm welcome to another episode of Ascension Talk with Ariella. And as you can see, today I am joined by another incredible guest. And actually, I have a sneaky bit of favoritism going on for my guest today, because it's the beautiful Pernilla Inebäck, she's a dear friend of mine. She's also my head oracle. So she's working, giving soul profile readings in my business. She's also working in my mentoring programs. And for those of you that don't, so I'm going to introduce Pernilla a bit more in a moment, but it suddenly dawned on me before I did this live stream today, as I was tuning in, I thought maybe not everybody knows actually like what I'm doing in the world either. And maybe not everybody knows that I'm an oracle either. And I wouldn't blame you if you didn't know, because it's only a word which has been downloaded to me recently. I've been calling myself an ascension guide because I've been guiding people on their evolutionary journeys. But oracle is a new word which has been downloaded and I love it. So you have got two oracles that are here with you today, and we're going to be talking to you about how to activate your intuitive gifts. And for those of you who are with us live, there will be an opportunity a bit later on where we'll be offering free soul profile readings as well. And I'm going to talk you through the system that we're going to be using for that, which of course Pernilla is very much trained on and is also a huge fan. So Pernilla, welcome to Ascension Talk with Ariella. It's so beautiful to have you here.
Thank you so much. I am so grateful and so happy to be here with you, my dear soul star sister, and who's been training me in this system, this amazing system that is like part of what I am right now, I would say. So I'm very happy and grateful to be here and to share what this system really is about and how we can use it for our own journey as well.
So let's first of all talk to the viewers about activating your intuitive gifts, and maybe we can just share a story each of our own journey around being able to do this. So what I can share with you for me quickly is that it still blows my mind to be calling myself an oracle today and an intuitive, because I literally do come from that very kind of left-brained, like corporate background, spreadsheets, you know, all of that stuff. And it wasn't, intuition wasn't something that we spoke about at all in my family growing up. So it has been quite the transition and quite the journey into understanding about my intuition and learning how to trust it. And I've got some tips that I want to share with you who are watching today on how you can further activate your own intuition. But what I will share for me is that I have, because I've done so many soul profile readings with people now, I must have done, I mean, it's at least 1,000. It's probably more like 2,000 when I think about all of the groups. It has been a process of stepping into, like, trusting my intuition. You know, I too, and I hear this from clients of mine when they first start like doing readings or really open or trusting their intuition, that there is a lot of fear, there is a lot of doubt that comes up, and me too. I mean, I really experienced that. But when you, over a period of time, like when you've done so many readings and when you've seen the tangible results that are showing up in people's lives, and when people are giving you those beautiful reflections, you know, I would say to all of you who are watching, if you're wanting to increase your psychic gifts, your intuitive gifts, just start working with people. I mean, just literally start working with clients and doing readings. Because it's like anything, there is almost like an intuitive muscle that needs to be flexed. It's like going to the intuitive gym. It needs a workout. You know, and the more that you trust it and the more that you follow the guidance, the more that you start to like be able to access higher levels of your intuition. So what has your journey been, Pernilla? in terms of your intuitive gifts?
Well, I mean, it's not been that long right yet, but I feel that just the last 6 months, I would say, you know, the more I work with the system, just as you say, the more it becomes one with you. It's like when I meet new people now, it's like, oh, I wonder what the soul destiny is. You know, I wonder what creation codes is behind that. You know, the expression of this person, and really the intuitive gift has really opened up. Also, I mean, in just 1 year, my intuitive ability to look at a chart has really how do you say
expanded? It's fine.
Yeah. Been much
Great.
better. I mean, I can see so much more now. I can feel that the intuitive gifts and being the oracle, that's also a word that I don't normally use. It's like oracle. That's the, you know, you go to the mountain and you praise the oracle and you get something from it. But that's not how I see it. I see we all have unique gifts, and those are like being unveiled when you are working with the system, and it's amazing how you can serve other people.
Absolutely. I mean, we better just talk a little bit about the system so that for people who are not familiar with it, they know what we're talking about. So this is a Hebrew system. It's a channeled Hebrew system, and I'm going to be sharing my screen with you. And by the way, if you would like a reading and you're watching this, please type into the comments your birth name, exactly as it was spelt on your birth certificate. And then I'm going to share my screen and actually do a live reading or a few live readings later on. So I will be checking in the comments box for that. But it's an incredible Hebrew system, channeled Hebrew system, which came through to a Swiss channeler in the 1980s, a incredible channel called Frank Alper. And Frank was a very psychic, gifted man indeed. He used to have weekly meetings with spirit, I believe, and he had a very, very close link to the soul of Moses. And the soul of Moses is said to have given Frank, transmitted this system to Frank. And it basically works by decoding your birth name into Hebrew phonetic sounds, and it places, and perhaps I'll just share quickly my screen with you now, because you can see, you will be able to actually see this, what a profile looks like on my screen. So this is actually the lovely Pernilla's profile that we have here. So you can see you've got Pernilla's birth name up at the top here. And then you've got this star of creation, or Merkaba, or Star of David, you might like to call it, with different numbers around it. And there are different aspects to the blueprint, to the profile. So you've, on the downwards pointing triangle here, you've got your earlier life coding, because all of these numbers are creation codes. And then in the upwards pointing triangle, your later life or your higher purpose. And then in the middle, your coding, which is for your soul destiny. It's a very ancient, but certainly not new, although it's newly come through from spirit to us. It was around in Atlantean times. And it was really, it is a gift from spirit to us, you know, during these times when we're going through this extraordinary change on the planet, this shift in consciousness, to help us to remember who we are, what our gifts are, and to give us a pathway, because this profile is truly a spiritual roadmap. It gives you a lot of insight, a lot of information, and a clear pathway on how you can activate these gifts, because some of the gifts are latent in all of us. And some of them are showing up in the challenge aspects of the profile, where your challenges contain your biggest gifts, right? So I am actually, after 4.5 years of working with the system, after doing like well over 1,000, probably 2,000 readings now, I have been given the clear guidance, the clear call that now I must teach this wisdom with people. So I'm actually, I've got a certification program which starts next month. We are taking applications for it this month. It's called the Code of the Oracle, and it will train you on how to become an oracle, to activate your intuitive gifts. We all have intuitive gifts. We all have psychic gifts. And the process that I'm going to take you through is a process whereby you will be able to start using these intuitive gifts. I have a very unique way of working with the system. I've channeled many, many other aspects to it, meanings, and I have a very, very unique way, which is very attuned to the ascension process of when I'm working with the system. So if you feel called to train to be an oracle, then consider joining my program next week. I will put a link at the top of the live stream or in the comments afterwards, so that you can fill out an application. It's by invitation only. The reason for that is that I'm taking a group of 50 oracles through this first live training. As of today, 32 have already been sold. So if you are feeling the call, then please act now. And I'm really looking to take a, committed group of oracles who are going to really love learning about the system as much as I love teaching about it through this system, through this process. And the intention, because I think what is unique about this, or fairly unique, is that I'm not just going to teach you how to activate your intuitive gifts. I'm also giving you a business model whereby you can earn 15K, an additional 15K a year in your first year after training in this system. So, this system underpins all of the work that I have been doing in my mission for the past 4.5 years. There is a huge abundance that happens as a result of you giving guidance to others on their path, serving others on their path. You serve and you will be served, right? So, and also I just have a very specific business model, which I've used myself, and I'm now training other people to use, so they can really start activating their higher abundance. Because I do believe that just intuitive gifts, just spiritual gifts alone are unfortunately not enough to change the world. We are still living in a world which requires money. It requires us investing in things, team structures to help us scale our missions. So it's about understanding greater ways that we can serve. So I will share the link, as I say, in a bit. But before we do some readings and before we share some more of this system, Pernilla, perhaps you can share a little bit. Just take us into a moment. And I know you had one recently that you were sharing about in this reading, whereby something was kind of like blowing you away, right? With what you were able to channel and bring through for somebody. Share with us about that.
Yeah, it was an amazing moment, because I have had the experiences a couple of times, well, several times before, but it was a long time ago. And during this reading, by the end, it was a total shape shifting. So I was actually seeing the being behind the human in the reading, with this beautiful lady that I was making the reading for. And as I was experiencing this, I could feel like how much my own gifts were activated, but I also felt that this was just as much from her side, that she had this within her and I had it within me. So it was blended. I mean, it's like... Do
you want to just explain a little bit about shape-shifting, right? Just to make sure that some people understand, but some people might be like, what sort of shape-shifting is she talking about?
That's right. Sorry. I wouldn't have understood it if I wouldn't have experienced it actually either. So that's right. The shape-shifting is a talent of the 8, actually. That in this case, the shape-shifting was that, for me, this is my experience. It's like when I'm looking at someone, they like go away. and it's like everything is just becoming like the wall, for example, and then I see the face and it's shifting, so it's actually not the human face, but I see something totally different. In this case, it was like an alien. It was not from here, and it was the most loving creature I've ever met. It was like so much love in that face, and it was so much happiness, like, can you see me? Really? So proud, so happy. And I was like, yeah.
So you were able, did this person know that they were a starseed? Because it's obviously their soul energy was shining through.
Yes,
so,
definitely.
Yeah.
And I also asked if it was okay to share what I saw, because of course I was like, am I supposed to share this? Is it too much? But there's always a two-way communication.
Yeah.
So she was just very happy to, of course, because it was her, the energy of, yeah.
So how you knew that is because exactly you looked at the profile, the same profile that I had on the screen a moment ago. I'll put it back in a moment when I do readings, and there were the 8s there. Yeah. And because like you've trained in this system, you know that part of the qualities of the 8s is the shape shifting. Yeah. So then what you were able to do when somebody was like literally visibly, and I've had that, and it is such an 8 thing. And by the way, I have 8s and you have 8s, and we're both so if anybody's watching this going, well, Ariella's face looks a bit whatever, right? You're right. And same for Pernilla, because we have 8s. So yeah, I mean, this system, right, with intuition, and this is what I've needed as well. A lot of us, unless you have a lot of 5s in your soul profile, the 5s are very right-brained, but the rest of us are pretty left-brained still, and how we're brought up in society is all pretty left-brained. So the beauty of having a system like this is that it allows you to connect with it with your mind, but then it's a system that helps you go beyond the mind. So you've connected it with it originally from that left brain point of view, and then you can go past that, and then there's like all of this guidance beyond it. I've also experienced that. I mean, yeah, I've learned to trust the guidance that is coming through for me when I do readings. Sometimes there is, those like the inner voice that's like, can I say this? Should I say this? And it's like, no, you know that if it's there, then their spirit is wanting to speak to the person. I've given some pretty big messages in my time to people. One of them, anyway, we won't go down that road, but sometimes you are the messenger, right? And the message is not always what people are necessarily wanting to hear, but it is always what they need to hear, which is in their highest alignment. Just going to share a quick story. It's not connected to the Hebrew system, but it is connected to intuition. That happened to me recently, and it was so beautiful. I mean, this is one of the most beautiful things that I have witnessed to date, as a result of me trusting my intuition. My auntie Mitzi, hello if you're watching, by the way, because she said she might tune in. Her dog died recently. Her 14-year-old dog Tot, who has just been a huge soul companion, died recently, and she was obviously very upset by this, and I was messaging her, and I sent her some flowers. And just as we were messaging each other on Facebook, suddenly I found myself, and this is part of being a channel or an oracle, suddenly I found myself writing out, would you like to do a ceremony with me at the weekend to help, with his transitioning? Hadn't planned on it, it was just there. And she was like, yeah, okay, cool. So we said, okay, well, let's meet on Saturday and do it. I was down south in the UK. She was up north. So we just did it on the phone. We had this incredible ceremony together. I didn't prepare anything. I wanted to, because I really was a bit worried. I wanted it to be amazing for her, but I didn't prepare anything. I didn't have time. Just trusting my intuition. We had this incredible ceremony together where Tot, the dog, set up these different signs, these different symbols, so that Michelle would know when he was around. Well, one of them was a eagle. she saw this bird of prey. She's like, I've got this bird of prey circling above my head. I don't know what it is. And I tuned in. I was like, I think it's an eagle. And we were both like, well, we're not very good with bird of prey, but we think it's an eagle. So it's a bird of prey, an eagle, a white feather, and a butterfly. Okay. So we had this amazing ceremony, lots of guides there. There was a stag there, which we realized was Archangel Michael, which is one of her head guides. An hour after the ceremony, she sent me this message and she said, you won't believe this. I've just been talking to a friend of mine who lives out in Canada. And he was like, yeah, I'm so sorry to hear about your dog. And then all of a sudden he was like, hold a second, what is that? And he said, there's this bird circling my head. It's an eagle and it's got a fish in its mouth. And she was like, hold on a second, you've got a bird circling, it's an eagle, it's got a fish in its mouth, like this is crazy. That happened. The next day I was traveling in the UK. I went to check in at my hotel, booked in the middle of this beautiful royal blue carpet floor in my room was this tiny white feather. Yeah. So I took a picture of that and sent it to her. She was sending me pictures going like more synchronicities. Then I got home a couple of days later, went straight upstairs, took my suitcase there, was walking down the stairs, and I just heard this this funny noise. I thought it was a rustling as I was walking down the stairs. And I was like, what is that? Carried on walking down the stairs. I thought it was a moth, first of all, and then realized it was a butterfly, this butterfly inside my house, fluttering its wings next to my front door, trying to get out of my front door. Well, I don't think I've ever had a butterfly in my house, right? I might have had moths. And I took this picture, and as I took this picture, it just opened its wings. It just had the most incredible markings on it. So it was just gorgeous. And then just the last piece on this, and it was so beautiful. Later that night, I did a meditation and I went into my safe space. You know, I've got this safe space that I go into, and it's this beautiful beach with the ocean. It's got this pond on the left-hand side and all of this nature. And as I walked through the door into my inner kingdom, all of this energy came towards me, all of this energy. And I was like, sort of, what is it? And first of all, I thought, is that doves? And then I realized it's butterflies. Oh. It was butterflies. I was just like, you've got the most magical dog in the world, Michelle. And you know, the piece, from her point of view, you know, she's an incredible woman. She's very successful. She's doing some incredible things in the world, definitely here on a big mission. But she's single. You know, her dog was everything to her. She thought that she would be devastated. And she said, Ariella, the peace, she said, I just don't feel any upset now. I know that Tot's fine, that he's happy. He sent me all of these messages. You know, and that is the power, right, of trusting your intuition and trusting in spirit. You know, the healing that comes from it, the beauty, the just jaw-dropping amazement. Yes, there's times where it can feel frustrating and you can doubt things and you don't always get these confirmations. And there are plenty of times where you're going through integration times and you feel like, hold on a second, where's my magic gone, right? Where's my connection gone? We all have those times as well. But the more that you step forwards, the more that you trust, the more that you dare to dream that these things might be possible, the more miracles show up on your path. So I wanted to share that with you guys as some inspiration. Okay. So Monty's watching. Gorgeous. Good morning to you as well, Monty. Lovely to have you here. Okay, so let's do some readings. I have got, I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, here we go. So I've got somebody's name here. So this is Mercedes. Let's have a look at your profile, Mercedes. And just to let you guys know, because I'm actually, I'm live streaming on Zoom into the Facebook group. You'll need to, if you want me to do a reading for you today, you'll need to put your birth name in there a few times, because I can't open the comments box in Facebook without it replaying our video to us, and I don't think any of us want that. So if you do want to have a reading, then if you could please just keep on put it a few times in the comments box, and I should be able to pick it up. Okay, so Mercedes, well, let's just talk through this profile first of all. So here we go, downwards pointing triangle, like I said, earlier life experiences, physical challenges. You could also look at this as karma, you know, things that you bring in from past lives, if you like, quantum lives that you're resolving in this lifetime, but it's not a punishment. I mean, I want us to really let go of any of those old belief systems around karma. In fact, I know that karma was cleared from this planet like probably over 5 years ago now. You know, we're not hooked into karmic consequences anymore. Yes, we're all having experiences. And yes, we're still responsible for creating in every moment. And yes, there will be consequences, but it's not like spirit are ticking us off anymore. They're just experiences. So your karma actually contains, and what we have here, this 11-2 in physical challenges for you, Mercedes, this actually contains a huge gift. Okay, so the 11-2 is about somebody who is very, very intelligent. Yeah, very good at assimilating a lot of knowledge, a lot of information, highly, highly resilient. Because this is in a challenge position, it means this is what you are learning to access. So you would have probably been on a journey of oversensitivity. Sometimes the 11-2s in this position, they can struggle with traditional school systems. So like teaching, learning from the teacher might have been difficult for you to absorb. You're probably highly kinesthetic. You probably need to move around, like you learn by moving your body and by actually like experiencing things, right? As opposed to sitting in a classroom and the teacher telling you things. And you're definitely a very, very, very much an empath. So you're learning about emotional resiliency. If you don't already have one in place, Mercedes, then I highly recommend that you put in place a daily energy management and protection routine, because that will really help you. But you are here to be an incredible support to others. You know, the 11-2s are the strong, resilient supports. My better half, Athan, my twin flame, he has an 11-2 in Soul Destiny, and thank goodness for that, because he's doing an incredible job of supporting me in my life. So I love the 11-2s. Now look, your dominant vibration is 7, so we can see this. You've got the 7-7 in physical talents. You've also got the 7-7 in physical goals. Whenever you have 4 or more of the same vibration, the same creation codes, that constitutes a dominant vibration. So this means that the 7 code is very, very important to you in this lifetime. Like your soul is really focused on you activating the gifts of this. So the gifts of the 7, Pernilla knows this, because Pernilla's got a dominant vibration of the 7s as well. I know this because I've got 2 7s in my birth name. The 7s are, firstly, they are, and here we go now, because they are very attractive energies. We all have very, very attractive energies. The 7s are highly magnetic. They are great at connecting with other people. Yeah, because you have a dominant vibration, you are likely to be seeing the positive aspects and the negative aspects playing out at the same time. So the positive aspects are life and soul of the party, very active energy. You know, you will normally be a very active person and like quick to get into action. The 7s are very, very catalytic as well. Make great catalysts for others. People are going to like shift quickly in your presence. That's going to be good for some people and bad for others, depending on how open they are to your catalytic force. you're somebody who in your earlier life, you would have been very well suited to like sharing information with others, facilitating groups, possibly leading groups. And the sevens is strongly connected to communication. So there is a lot of communication. And look, we've got another 7 up here in spiritual goals. We've got a 16-7 there. So you've got 5 sevens. So whether you like it or not, my darling, you are here to be seen. And not just seen. When you have 5 sevens in your profile, like you're here to be seen big time by people. You can be famous, right? The sevens can be famous. You know, they are supposed to be seen to be attracting a lot of attention. So attraction is a key word. The sevens can also be brilliant at like business, like marketing, right? Sharing information and attracting people to a certain mission, right? Using their incredible charisma, their communication skills. So this is something that I definitely think you should consider. Oh my goodness, you've got another. I didn't realize you had another. How many?
7.
She has 7.
7.
7 sevens. Oh my goodness. I didn't see this one hiding down here in spiritual challenges. Well, we need to talk about that. This is coming up very strongly for you now. So if you're not already, I mean, really, really invest in learning internet marketing for you. I mean, you're here to be a massive, massive global influencer. The flip side of the sevens is they can isolate. You know, they can isolate. They can resist connecting with other people. They can feel sometimes they don't know how to connect with other people. What it comes down to is there is a fear. There is a fear around being seen. There's a fear around being rejected for the sevens. So what they can do is they can wear masks, right? They can wear masks because they fear showing their true, authentic expression in case they are rejected. So yes, this is this Anna Mercedes, I wonder, from the group? I didn't see who put this in there. I'm wondering, maybe from our mentoring community. Doesn't feel like it is the blueprint of Anna's, but I just thought maybe it is. I'm just checking in. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you definitely a source connector for sure. And then you've got this 11-2 here in spiritual talents. So what was your challenge in your earlier life, in your later life, which is this upwards pointing triangle, actually becomes your talent. So, you know, great with structure, highly intelligent, can absorb a lot of information. It feels very much to me like there is a system, there's wisdom that you're going to be channeling to others. You're very connected to sharing wisdom with others. Okay, that's what's strongly coming through from spirit. You are here to share wisdom with others, right? You need to use your powerful communication skills and really activate them. The 16-7 in spiritual goals, you've got a community that you're here to lead. There's a community that you're here to create that are, you've either found them, or if you haven't found them, you need to find them because they're waiting for you to step forwards and to serve them, to lead them. And you're going to be sharing a lot of wisdom into this group. You're a very spiritual, a very, very high frequency being with the 14-5 here in Soul Destiny, which is all about, I mean, 14-5s are very spiritual. They can really, they're like the psychic mirrors. They can help other people to understand themselves, to see themselves by looking at you. So did you know that you were a psychic mirror, Mercedes? And sometimes this is a two-way mirror. You are also finding out about yourself through your relationships with the people, which can be quite intense when you're a 14-5. But the 14-5 in Soul Destiny, this is where you have this incredible soul channel. Yeah, you're here to channel through some inspired in spirit form of creativity and share it with the world. Now, I always think of, when I see a 14-5 in Soul Destiny, I always think of, and I'm going to forget her name now, what's the lady who wrote Harry Potter books? Oh. What's the name? You can tell us in Facebook. You know who I mean. That was like, that was channeled creativity, right? Genius, because the 14-5s can be like geniuses. It's something so inspired, so beautiful, that they're here to share with the world, something highly creative, but highly charged with spiritual energy. This is like, there is some, Mercedes, you have like a body of work that is wanting to come through you. And it's going to be through sharing wisdom with this community. Yeah, and really trusting. You've got to trust your intuition. You're very, very psychic, but you're on a journey of really like owning your intuitive channel and your creative abilities. You can be an incredible rock of support to others. And you know, you've got a sort of a counseling energy in your profile as well. Let me just reshare my screen. Anything that you wanted to add to that, Pernilla?
Actually not. More the 16-7, also the bringer of, you know, the conduit for higher frequencies, higher energies. So like channeled messages, but not channeled messages, but more like bringing energies, higher frequency energies to the earth and into this community. And also, like you just said, with the 11-2, also to have this energy protection management in place, especially when you have a 16-7 in your profile.
Absolutely. Yeah, the 16-7s, because I have these in both of my talent positions, they are the conduits. Okay, you're a conduit for high frequency spiritual energy. So like, you're definitely going to be doing groups, workshops, retreats, I'm being told ceremonies as well. And when you are in these retreats and when you are facilitating, because you're an amazing facilitator, spirit will just be bringing through energy, right, that will activate other people. So you are like that conduit that can bring forwards that energy. So yeah, absolutely. Let me just dip back into Facebook. And okay, great. This is great. Thank you, guys. So Angela, I'm coming to you now. Angela Marie Wood is your birth name. So let me put this into the calculator, then I will share your profile again. Angela Marie Wood. Okay. And what I'm going to do, can I do this? Yeah, what I'm going to do, in case any of you guys are interested in, if you're feeling the call to train in this system, then I'm just going to share the link in the comments now of how you can apply. So we've got 50 spaces available, 32 today. The training starts next month, and it's just going to take me a month to train you. It's over 2 weekends. If you can't attend live, you can watch the replay, and there's 2 Q&A. So I've just shared the link there in the comments, but let's have a look. Oh, some familiar coding on there. Let me share my screen. Familiar coding as in I have similar coding. 17-8s. Oh yes, I know something about the 17-8s, Angela, because I have them in both challenge positions in my birth name, physical challenges, spiritual challenges. So let's talk about these 17-8s. You have them in physical goals, and you also have them in soul destiny. So these are the incredible public speakers. You, Angela, are an incredible, incredible public speaker, and you have like seriously strong messages inside of you that you're supposed to be sharing with society, normally when you're a 17/8, through some sort of media. Could be social media, could be TV, could be radio. Now, the 17/8s, and I wonder whether you saw this in your earlier career, because your 17/8s is in your earlier life, in your goals. So this is where your soul was like driving you to create something. So I wonder whether you saw these 17/8s manifest as some sort of public speaking. Could have been, sometimes the 17/8s, they get drawn to journalism, for example. Oprah Winfrey has a 17/8 in that position, drawn to journalism as an early age, like, or it could have just been like your own message that wanted to get out. So because this is in goals, so what happens is when you have this in goals and soul destiny, like you do, the same vibrations here, you are on a journey to activate these. I mean, you have profound gifts in like public speaking and also in media talents. The 17/8s are the mouth of God, right? You're here to say the things in society that most people don't want to say. Not everybody's gonna like you for that, but that's not really the point. Like, the message needs to get out. You're here to share these powerful messages, and people who that resonate with that will love you and will thank you for sharing so honestly. So don't hold back on your expression. The 17/8s, they can hold back on their expression. So when it's in goals like yours is, or soul destiny, you normally have to go through the challenge aspects of the codes in order to activate them as positives. So it could have been that earlier on in your life, you felt that you had to repress, hold back in your expression. You probably felt that people around you didn't understand you. They didn't get you. So what's the point in like trying to connect with people, right, when nobody understands you? So it can lead to, in your earlier life, like a suppressed energy, suppressed expression. But you're here to express yourself and you know, really share these big messages into society. So yeah, you have got a very powerful profile. I mean, 9/9 here in physical talents. The 9s are the most powerful coding in the entire system. There are 22 creation codes. They all relate to the Hebrew 5 letters, the Hebrew alphabet, and the 9s are the most powerful. They're also the channels. By the way, it's also the coding of the oracle. If you have 9s in your profile, like Pernilla and I do, then you are an incredible channel, an incredible oracle. So you have channeling ability. You can channel either messages, guidance, inspiration, creativity, or healing through. You were probably in your earlier life with this 22 here in physical challenges. Remember, this can be the karmic imprint that you're here to resolve and then to activate the gifts. The 22s can often create environments that they're born into whereby there is a rigidity, right? Sometimes it can be being born into a family that has like old-fashioned values, a bit stuck in the past, or very traditional or religious, even like, you know, very religious beliefs. There is some belief system normally that is rigid that you as a 22 are here to kind of free yourself from, break free of, find your own truth. And the 22s, normally they end up being like incredible adventurers, because the 22 is the spiritual, is the spiritual Indiana Jones. They are the intrepid explorers. You know, so there would have been like this kind of craving, this longing, but probably some fear as well about, well, hold on, like I'm leaving my culture's belief systems around to go to new horizons here. So that might have been a bit of a challenge for you. Also, you've got 7s here in physical goals. So we spoke about that last time. Again, you know, you have a strong drive at soul level. You're highly magnetic, highly attractive. You need to be out there, like finding your tribe, networking, building communities. You're a great facilitator. You, Angela, have got, I mean, off the charts, incredible, Pernilla, communication skills, right?
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, when you look at this.
Oh yes, it's very, very strong, and the messages are very strong. Needs to come out, and with that background, also, I feel there's like another push to what's really needing to come out.
Yeah, so maybe some sort of experiences. Yeah, your story is needing to come out. That's true, because the 17 eights are the great storytellers. So you are, when you have a 17 8 in soul destiny like you do, you're here to be a bridge. You know that, right? You're here to be a bridge between society and spirituality, if you like, to bridge spiritual energy into society. So it is a grounded mission that you're supposed to be on, because you're helping to inspire other people who may not be open yet to spirituality, to cross that bridge, to come into a more spiritual dimension. So there will be a need for you to be grounded to some extent, so that other people can relate to you, but you're very high frequency. I mean, who you are is very high frequency. This 21-3 in spiritual challenges may have been causing you some challenges. Shyness can be unworthiness, feeling as if, often the 21-3s feel as if they weren't loved, particularly like growing up. They didn't feel as if they were loved, they didn't feel valued, or they didn't feel worthy. They don't feel worthy enough to be loved. So this is something that you're here to really transmute. And again, the 21-3 is very strong communication energies. So there will be a shyness with you. There will be like, what, who, me? Can I be on this stage? Can I hold this space? What are people going to think about me? I can't find the words. Like, all of these thoughts will come up for you. But that's just as a result of you stepping into and activating these gifts. These are like the tests, the initiations that you're setting up for yourself. Because I always say to people, you know, if you want to activate your gifts in the fastest amount of time, then here's what you do. Run towards your challenges. You know, run towards the resistance that's coming up for you. If you're wanting to be on the fast track, then you've got to confront the things which are stopping you from really claiming your power, claiming your light, from being the most incredible version of you in the world. So if you're feeling, Anja, as you're watching this, and I will be checking the comments later so you can leave some remarks for me, if you're thinking, well, like, I don't know how to be this incredible public speaker, this person with media talents, this person who's speaking on a stage, delivering these like powerful messages, being the mouth of God, then just please believe me when I tell you it is within you. It is already in your coding. You've just got to activate it, and you can totally do it. For any of you who haven't checked out your soul profiles yet, go onto my website. I think it's in the work with me section. It's not a high price at all. It's £33. And if you're on my email list, by the way, I'm always offering free promotions to my email list. But if you go onto my website, it's on there for £33, and you can download your profile, my 90-page ebook. Knowing your soul profile, your soul blueprint, is one of like the best gifts that you can ever give to yourself. We can't align with our highest purpose. We can't, like, most of us need to have some sort of external validation, guidance for who we are, because we can't see it ourselves most of the time. I mean, Pernilla, when you first, because I gave you your reading first of all, right? What did you think about this person that was being illuminated, and looking back at you? Did you believe it? Because I didn't.
Well, no, it was the retreat. Actually, the first time I got the reading, you know, but I saw the soul purpose system, and what struck me was actually one thing that I remember the most was because my mother's always told me that I'm so emotional. Are you always so emotional? So like, you know, I've got all the emotions coming all the time, and I've never seen myself like that. But when I saw the system and I was diving into the 13-4 and the 7s, I like got it. Like, oh my God, that's my wisdom. That is who I am. The feelings, those are my gifts. And I've been hiding them behind this mask with the 7. So it was a revelation, you know, when to see what these like creation codes actually stood for and to own it.
Yeah.
So
to own it. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Same for me. When I got my reading, and I was just blown away by this person that they painted me to be. I was in corporate at the time, and I just was like, I didn't understand any of this stuff about myself. It gave me the confidence to, after a while of like sitting down with my boyfriend and my best friend saying, really, is this person could be me, and them screaming, yes, it's you. Yeah, it gave me the confidence to start to align my actions, to start to move in that direction. Yeah. And just start to be willing to, even though there was still a bigger part of me that was like, well, this just, I just can't believe it, but okay, I'm willing to trust. Yeah. And the more that I've done that, the more that I can see, not only is this me, my soul profile, but the gifts that I thought I was going to have, the more I get into it, it's nowhere near as incredible as the gifts that I will have and that I do have already. Yeah, that's right. It's unlocking all the time. And all the time. And you understand more and more on different levels. It's like it's going deeper and deeper, or some would say higher and higher, but it's the same thing actually. But for layers. So here we go. Let's have a look at Isabel's profile. Very, very interesting profile here. So check out all of these 9s. I mean, Isabel, if you have ever felt the call to be an intuitive, a channel, or an oracle, please do consider applying for the Code of the Oracle training, because goodness me, you are well set up for it. So 4 9s here, so definitely a channel, definitely an intuitive. You've got this 9-9 in spiritual talents. This is your later life talents. This is, you know, what you're here to share with the world. And this 9-9 in spiritual goals. So the 9s are the channels. You know, they can channel like verbal messages to others. They can channel healing frequencies to others. And also look here at this beautiful 19-1 that you've got in spiritual challenges. By the way, whatever you have in, so never think of any of these as challenges, right? That's what I want to say to all of you. All of the codes in your profile, no matter where they are in your profile, they are all talents. They're all gifts. The illusion is that they're in challenge, and you're here to activate the gifts, right, that you all have. So the 19-1s, spiritual challenges always holds a big clue as to how your higher purpose is going to play out in the world. The 19-1s, and Monty, if you're watching this, you also have the 19-1s. These are the incredible divine space holders for others. Okay, so one of your gifts, as well as being like highly intuitive, ridiculously powerful, because the 9s are the most powerful coding, so you literally are the power of the divine incarnate. You also have this amazing ability to hold space for others, and not just hold space, but when you hold space, the divine spirit comes into it and they catalyze and transform the space that you're holding. So for you, Isabel, the question is, did you have a dream, or have you ever had a dream in your heart of building some sort of center, creating some sort of space? Okay, could be a retreat center. You are somebody who would be amazing because of the space that you create, right? And there will be a calling by spirit for you to create and hold some sort of space. So retreat center could be phenomenal for you. whatever this space is that you're called to create, it will be sacred. And I mean, sacred, spiritual. High frequencies are going to come into that space, and they're going to catalyze and transform the people that come into it. So just know that about yourself. Yeah. So you would be great at like facilitate, like Monty, who may be watching this. I fly him over from the States to the UK, right? I actually like, I've got people in the UK that I could work with, but because Monty has got this 19-1 coding, he is like this incredible space holder. So at retreats, he comes in and he co-facilitates some of my retreats with me. And I've experienced it myself when I attended a workshop that Monty was there, and we were doing some deep work, and he just came up behind me and put his hands on my shoulders, and all of this spiritual energy just came through my body. It was like this huge release. Well, this is the type of gifts that you've got, Isabel. You know, you are this divine channel, right? And this creator of this space, this divine sacred space. And you can channel the one code is completely connected to source energy. You can channel very high frequency, very pure spiritual energies through directly from source. The wands, whenever people are tapping into like healing frequencies, doing Reiki or other types of healing, and their channels that healing energy to come through, is always the one code in the system, which is Aleph in the Hebrew 5 letter that they're actually channeling. So and 11-2s as well, 2 11-2s. So you know, the 11-2s are incredible rocks of support to others, make great counselors, great care workers. They're the wisdom teachers, they're the truth teachers, great shamans. They make absolutely great shamans. You're a healer, right? You are a healer, you know, and you're a channel, right? With the 9s, you're an incredible oracle, but you're a healer. Anything you want to add to this one, Pernilla?
No, I think you got the most important parts of it. But the 11-2 to me is very much about the truth. And I don't know why, but I always, what's his name? No, I can't remember it. But there's one popping up every time. David Icke.
David Icke, yes.
Like the truth behind the truth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I want to add. Like a healer, yes, the channeling, but also like very much like the truth is coming through this person.
The truth. Yeah, you're right. David Icke is the 11-2s are truth seekers before they turn into truth teachers.
Yeah.
The 11-2s are attracting lots of different philosophies, lots of different forms of spiritual, lots of different truths to them, so that they can discern themselves what their truth is. So Isabel, you are here to learn what your truth is and resiliently share that with others. Pernilla, I don't know whether it's the shape-shifting or which... I don't know if you put that mask back on, but we were doing a good job of that being removed.
I don't know what happened, actually.
You're in Scotland at the moment, right? You're in the staff room because you're doing this, but you're at a retreat, aren't you?
Oh yes, I am. And it's been raining all the time, but now the sun came, and I don't know actually what happened, but
we've got a nice lattice in the background. Okay, so there we go. There we have it. I'm going to go into the comments. Both Pernilla and I will be checking in the comments and just seeing if we can serve and support you in the comments. I do offer free readings from time to time in this group. And if you're watching this on the replay, you need to be in my free Facebook group which is called Avatar Ascension Community. And Ascension Talk with Ariella, which is my online show where we talk about all aspects of ascension and we help people on their ascension path. Sometimes it's just me, sometimes I'm interviewing people, sometimes I'm giving free readings. But the best way for you to connect more with this system is, well, definitely make sure that you're on my email list. Yeah, because I give lots of free readings. And in fact, I'm doing one on Monday, next Monday at 6 p.m. So if you join my email list, then you will be invited to that. So just go onto my website and you'll find out there how to add yourself to my email list. But yeah, as of now, we have sold 32 of the 50 Oracle spaces, which are available. So it's going very quickly. And I know why, because it is so in alignment and this wisdom has to be shared. You know, the revelation that I received the other day, because I've been illuminating people's soul blueprints, changing soul blueprints, upgrading soul blueprints for the past 4.5 years now. And the revelation that I got the other day is because it's part of the higher calling to upgrade the human blueprint to human, what I'm calling human 6.0, the 6th root race, what I'm calling the quantum human, yeah, to birth the quantum human. So if you feel a calling to join that higher mission and movement, and you know, like Pernilla and I are being guided to do, yeah, to really bring in those new codes and to help upgrade the human blueprint, then my Oracle certification program would be amazing for you. The price, it's discounted for this first group of 50 oracles. Next time I do this, and it won't be live, that will be pre-recorded, the price will be £1,500. But for this first group of 50, it's just $997. And there's a ton of bonuses included in that. You get 10 hours of my virtual retreat, DNA Code Illuminations, where I go very deeply into each one of the creation codes. You get my 2.5-hour video, which is about soul cycles, learning where you are in your soul cycles. Plus you have myself and Pernilla live with you. And plus we have a dedicated Facebook community where we're in there answering questions. So if you're feeling the call, then now is a really good time to jump in. It's invitations, the applications are by invitation only. So the first step is that you fill out an application, and then we will look at that. And if it's a good fit, we will invite you to speak with us. And I'm sure it will be a great fit, and we'll just, you know, we'll welcome you into the program, and we'll just answer any questions that you have. If you have any questions for me, then you can also put them in the chat below. But now's a really good time, if you're feeling the call, to join this first group as we go through this. And like I say, it's good to act fast, because as of now, 32 places out of 50 have been sold. So yeah, anything that you would like to share, Pernilla, before we say goodbye for the moment?
No, just like you said, I really invite those of you who feel called to do this. This is an amazing opportunity, and it is the only time that Ariella is going to do it live. And I mean, to me, she is the system. So to be taught directly from you, like in a live, I encourage all of you who feel like, yeah, maybe like this is the time. And also you're very generous in your bonuses with this. So it's like so much more that you get, and you will never regret it. I mean, you can do so much with this system, just for you, only both for yourself and also for others. So yeah, if you feel the calling, just please.
Being an oracle is super cool, right?
Yeah,
super really cool. Being in service.
Oh yes.
And being able to work with spirit is super cool. So if you're feeling the call, now is the time. There is also a payment plan available. So if you can't pay in full, then there is a payment plan over 3 months available to make it more manageable. But we're going to close now. But last word from you, Pernilla. What is the best thing for you about being an oracle?
Being in service. That is the one and only, really. That is the absolute best, being in service.
Yeah, for me too. Changing people's lives, helping them on their evolutionary journeys is incredible. And getting to work with spirit, high consciousness every day is off the chart. Awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
So I hope that this live stream has benefited you. I hope that you received some insight into your soul profiles. Apologies that we couldn't do all of your readings today, but as I say, there is plenty of future opportunities coming up, so we can do that. Yeah, I love doing these lives. I love hanging out with you guys. I will be in the comments below, and thank you for being in my life as well, so that I may serve you. I adore it. Sending much love, and see you next week on Ascension Talk with Ariella. Bye for now.
Much love.